You can find a few other places, but historically, for large parts of the world, people have not had freedom and certainly not had the kind of freedom that we've had in the United States.
Yeah, and I was obviously, Charlie Kirk was assassinated not that long ago, and for me and a lot of people, obviously, he represented American exceptionalism, and he went out there and he was eager to debate, and that's what made him so unique. And a lot of people ask me, and they wonder, what do we do now? Where so many people are looking for some savior all the time, and I think that, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, it's a lot of people don't like to hear it, but the solution, there are plenty of problems. You addressed a number of them. This false reality that Democrats want to live in, that's not a true, real vision of America. But when you're looking for Superman, to me, it's in the mirror, and I think people have to get educated, and informed about what you're talking about, because we have to articulate that to our neighbors and friends, do we not?
Sure, and I think you have to start with the founding document, which was, when it was adopted, the most radical statement of human rights ever written. We are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, the other side of that is, we then have an obligation as people who are born with an endowment to protect that endowment and to make it better, to improve it, to stand firm and defend it. And I think that's a key part of this, is that you got to get across to people that all of us as citizens, every one of us, has an obligation to strengthen, improve, and defend the country. It's not something, you don't have the luxury of sitting around and saying, gee, I hope the king does this. Because in our system, each of us individually is a stakeholder, and each of us has a responsibility for protecting and improving the United States.
I know that you have, kids and grandkids. I've got two young daughters. One's almost 3, and the other one just turned 1. And I've been speaking to more Republican groups out where I live in Northern California. And one of the things I've been saying since I had kids, and obviously it changes your life and perspective, is that, the way we look at our job as parents, because it never ends. It's exhausting, obviously, to be a parent, because it never goes away. That's a permanent role. One of the problems I see in the country is that people view their responsibilities as citizens in 2-year, but typically 4-year election cycles. When you're an American citizen every single day, your duty to be a steward for what we've inherited, doesn't pause, and just show
That's
up
right.
once every 4 years. And I think that, to me, that's a perspective that people would benefit from.
Yeah, I think somehow we allowed it to be reduced to voting. If you show up once every 2 years or once every 4 years, you've done your job. That's not true. Citizenship is a 24-hour a day, 365-day a year process. And you go back and you look at the founding fathers, it was amazing what they were prepared to do to create a country. And I think they would say to all of us, look, we have bequeathed to you this extraordinary, wealthiest country in history, enormously powerful, huge resources, great capabilities. Now you've got to get up and you got to do your share. And Reagan used to say that freedom is always one generation deep. And that's exactly right.
Find their Drew Allen Show on this platform: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Ram TV Live.